press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, hope you're doing well. We have finished the problems of India and their solutions, and today we're going to get into a fresh chapter, a new chapter, that is banking transactions from business studies. So in this chapter you're going to study the meaning of banks, what is a bank, from where did you derive the word bank, the certain features that the bank has or characteristics, the nature of a bank, then what kind of transactions do we do in the bank, how are banks useful to us, what kind of service do they give us? They give us a certain kind of service, isn't it? All of us go to the bank for some or the other purpose that we have, usually involving with money that we have to do. Now we are also going to discuss the different kinds of accounts that we can open, okay, to save money and to do other things, to send money to someone else. What kind of procedures are there, how do they help us, how can we open an account in the bank? So, and the uses of having a bank account, especially, or the advantages of having a bank account, what the bank's services, how much of the bank services is useful to us. So all this in brief will be studied, not in detail. If you have to study in detail, there's a lot, but briefly we are going to study what is a bank and basically the characteristics and their services to their customers, as well as what are the services that the customer can take in and how it is helpful for them. So let's get into a certain introduction that we have to do. Now these banks that have been there, they have been there for over 200 years ago, okay, for 200 years now, and everybody is taking use or making use of the banks there. The banks are also giving certain kinds of services. Each bank has their own ways of dealing, but everybody is giving a particular kind of service, that is, they serve you through acting as people who are responsible for your money. They take care, they take responsibility for whatever we are saving with them, isn't it? We may be keeping our gold, or we may be keeping other things in the lockers in the bank, we may be giving in money to them. They take all the responsibility to take care of whatever is given or handed over to them. Alright? Now understand this, the word bank, okay, is derived from the Italian and the French word. Derived from the Italian word banco, okay, it's derived from the Italian word banco, and the French word French word bank. Okay, bank. It's a French word bank and the Italian word banco. So these two words, it's derived from these two words, French and Italian. Okay, both mean, what do both of these words mean? They mean bench. Okay, bench or a table. Okay, a table where you are exchanging money exchange table. Now the bankers are sitting on one side, the customers go, isn't it? You go and ask the banker sitting there, this is what I want from your bank, and they in return are helping you. So from their table they are exchanging money, you are also exchanging money with them, and they are in turn helping you or giving their services to the exchange of money and other services related to money that they do. So bench or money exchange table. Okay, so it's derived from the Italian word banco and the French word bank, which means bench or money exchange table. Now, the word or the term bank is related to the financial transactions that we do. All right. Now the word bank is related to the financial transactions that we are doing in the banks. That is, what kind of how much of money we are exchanging, what kind of services do they give us, how much of money can we keep with them, how much we will have to deposit, what kind of savings do we do. All right, all these financial, anything that is related to money that we do is helped by the bank people for us. Now, banks are financial institutions all right. What do? They use the money that is, okay, money that is deposited by the customers, okay, deposited by customers. We make investments. Okay, and then they agree to return whenever we want, or according to the schemes or according to the policies we have done. So understand, bank is a financial institution, okay, like educational institution, okay, health institutions, health sectors. Bank is a financial institution relating to money. What do? They use the money that we have deposited, we have kept with them. Okay, who has kept it? Customers have kept it. How have we kept it? We have invested our money so that we can save that money for the future that is coming. And the bankers, they give us the money whenever we are in need, or according to the policies, according to the schemes, or according to the services that they have given. If we have decided on a scheme for 1 year, we will get the money when we complete that year. So all these different kinds of services that they give. Basically, they are taking the investments that we want to do, taking the deposits that we want to do, and will return whenever the customer asks for. Let's move on and see the other aspects that are related to the bank. All right, let's move on. Now, banks give you loans, okay, and they charge interest. Now, when you are in need of money, okay, you don't have that much money in hand. Bank will give you certain money, and then you have to repay them. You have to give them back when at a certain amount of time, and they charge interest. That is, they put some additional amount to whatever you have taken, and you will have to give them back with the additional amount. Especially these educational loans that are given. They give you to study, or they give you your housing loans, you give their education loans. They give you money to study, and they give you a time frame where you have to return back the money along with some additional amount that they charge in the loan that you have to repay. Now, these banks, they also exchange the money that of the different countries. Okay, banks exchange money of the other countries also. When you are in need or when you have to go to a foreign country, the bank will help you to get a certain amount of money, so that when you land in that foreign land, you have money, their money, so that you can make your movement there in their land, okay, in the foreign land. So these banks also help you to exchange Indian money with the other with the money of the other countries. So this exchange happens, you will have to exchange, isn't it? You cannot be using Indian money in the foreign country. You will have to have their kind of notes and their kind of money transactions that they do. So the banks also give these services where they exchange in case you will have to go to a foreign country and you need money. You give the Indian rupee, Indian money, and they will give you in return whichever country you are going to, money of whichever country you are going to. Now, the development of the country, now we had discussed in the problems also, there are many problems, isn't it? But the economic system of the country also should be fine, isn't it? We cannot have money that will not be sufficient for the people. We should be trying to keep the economic value of whatever is there in the country. And the development of the country also in a way depends on these banks. Development of the country depends on the efficient banking system. Okay. Banking system is good, the development of the country is also good. Now banks also give money to the agriculture sector, the traders, okay, and whoever is in need. They give you loans, okay, student loans are also given where you can if you really don't have money and you really have to get those that kind of education, banks help you, but you have to give them back in return after a certain amount, a certain period of time that you and they have decided, or according to their policies. They give the farmers also certain schemes, certain loans are given to the farmers so that the agriculture sector also goes. Trading sector is also given money. Okay, it's between you and the bank, and you decide what you have to do. Now, everybody is contributing. Okay, the bank cannot work without its customers. Similarly, a shop cannot run without his customers, isn't it? Everybody has to have a give and take process. Now anything, a doctor cannot work without the patients. He has to have his patients. A teacher has to have his or her students. Okay, everything is a matter of give and take. So the banks also have a similar policy. They take responsibility for your money, and then they also help you when you are in need. Let's move further and see what are the other aspects in banking sector. Okay, now there is another definition of banking given. Let's see that too. A banking company okay, it can be defined as a company that transacts, okay, it is making some kind of transaction, transacts the business with finance. Now what is the bank? Another definition that's given is, what is the bank doing? It's referring to a company which is transacting, which is dealing, or which is in a way contributing business with finance. Okay, anybody wants to have a certain kind of business, that kind of finance is necessary. So banks help you in a way to do all this. Now I think the banks take deposits. Okay, when you open your account, you'll have to have a certain amount of money, and that can continue with your account. They accept deposits from the public, that is people around their customers, and they also give a need when there are loans. Okay, this is the same definition again. They take the deposits, they take care, they take responsibility. We'll understand the word later, what is responsibility there, and they give loans in need. Again, it's the same thing that's being repeated. Now, the services that are given by the bank are called as banking. Services given by the bank is banking. Now, once you have deposited, the bank also repays the deposits. Banks give you a service of repaying the deposits in the form of checks, drafts. Okay. Now checks and drafts, these are paying instruments. Now if you cannot be carrying a large amount of money, checks will help you. You can give the check to the bank, and then they will deposit into whosever account it has to be deposited into. These are payment instruments. Now payment has become, or transaction has become very easy. You can send money from one account to the other account through your phone itself. So there are other various ways like phone pay, Google Pay, okay. But banks also have these facilities for those who cannot avail these modern technological facilities that are there. And before all these different kinds of pays that had to come, we had to go to the bank itself. They had to go to the bank, they had to ask the bank for certain kind of services, and once the check was being deposited, then after a certain number of days you would get the money. But now it's very easy, just a click on your fingertip, it just goes to the other account that is to be deposited in. Now let's see the characteristics of the bank. What are the few of the characteristics of the bank and how they help us? The first characteristic is they deal with money. What do the banks do? They deal with money. According to whatever institution you have, they deal. Now because this bank is a financial institution, it deals with money. Whose money? The money of the public. Now a bank is an individual, a firm or a company. A firm or company. Now, bank can be owned by a person or through shares, okay. People can share, and there are government sector bank also. So, basically any institution that is done, okay, private or public, government owned or not government owned, it has this basic function that is dealing with money. Third one is acceptance of deposits. Okay, acceptance of deposits. Now, they accept deposits, okay, you can save your money. Whose deposits do they accept? They accept the public's deposits, and then they are given whenever you are in need. Now, the banks are providing security to whatever we are saving with them, and in return they are acting as custodians. Understand this word? Custodians. That means a person who is taking responsibility for the money that you have. Custodian is like a guardian, okay, who is taking care of you, basically, a basic meaning. But in the banking sector, who is the custodian? Who is our custodian? Who acts like our guardian? Who acts like who is taking responsibility of our money? The people in the bank. Isn't the bank on a larger scale, on a whole, is taking care? So, they act as our guardians, they act in a way, they take responsibility to protect the money that we have given them, and in turn giving us security for many other things. Next characteristics is they are lending loans. Now, I told you whenever anybody is in need, wants to study, wants to start a business, wants to build a house, anything that is there, they have their schemes, they have their policies, and according to that they give you the loans, they give you money so that you can lead your life peacefully. Now, next is payment and withdrawal. Okay. Banks help you to make certain kinds of payments also. So, for people finding difficulty to pay their bills, okay, bank helps you certain kinds of payments, and then banks also help you to make payments and save your money, and they also give you a chance of withdrawing your money through the ATM. Okay, they give you credit and debit cards, and that is how you can withdraw, you can take away your money whenever you are in need. Now, when you have a card, you just swipe it and you get the money easily. But some years ago, you had to go to the bank, you had to fill a form, and then they would give you the money that you want. Some still do it, some still go to the bank to deposit because they don't have the facilities that the rest of the population has, or they are not aware of those facilities. Now, to help these people and not make a barrier, not make a wall between all these people in the bank help you or help any customer who goes to them, and in turn accept their services, in turn give their services that they want. Now, you can do this through paying instruments, that is checks, drafts, and other paying instruments that are there. Now, agency and utility services. Now, agency and utility services is, it gives facilities to its customers, isn't it? Maybe to an individual alone or as a group for an organization, they help in transacting money, they help in lending money, and also help in paying your bills, help in aiding so that life becomes easier for you in a way. Okay. Next is a profit and service orientation. Profit and service orientation. Now, banks are making their profit, okay, everybody is making their profit in their own way in which they have invested. But with regard to making profit, they are also giving you their services. So that's why profit and service oriented. They are based on giving you services, they lend you their services and in turn make their profits. Next is ever increasing functions. Now, what is ever increasing functions? Now, assume that they have 2 policies for this year. Next year, they are going to invent 2 other or 4 more so that they can help their customers better. They are not limited, rather they are expanding themselves, they are continuously making changes in these schemes, they are making it available for most of its customers, for a wide population. Alright, and certain activities that they do also contribute for the welfare of the citizens as well as the country and their customers. So that they don't keep a certain amount of money, a certain amount of policies, rather they are seeking in such a way that they come up with new ideas and come up with new investments that the customers can do. Next is they are a connecting link. Now, they act as a connecting link between the depositors, that is the people who deposit, who keep this money, and the people who borrow the money, people who take the money. Now, the banks also do in such a way where they collect money from people who have extra and they give it to the poor, they give it to the needy. So, these kind of facilities, they connect some link between them. Banking business, next is banking business. Now, banking business is already understood from the very beginning of the introduction that their institution is a financial institution, and that is why their process is only through money. They are taking deposits from the customers, they are helping who are in need. So, this is how they do, that's the basic understanding, okay. It is the same repetition or a summary of all the definitions that are given. The next one is name identity. Just give me a second. Name, okay, 9, 10, 11. Name identity. Now, have you heard of Canara Bank, okay, Corporation Bank, earlier there was Syndicate Bank. So, what is there after their name? Syndicate, Canara, Corporation, Access, or whatever it is, bank. So, they can keep this name bank, okay, they can add this name bank to their names, that is State Bank of Mysore, okay, the Canara Bank. They are adding the word bank in their name, and they have a possibility of doing so, and the customers also can associate with it, and it makes everything easier so that you know from which bank to which bank you are transferring and which bank you have an account in. So, that will be easier. If everybody was called a bank, then you would not be able to differentiate, isn't it? You may you should have thought like, okay, this is in this address and that address, but it has made it easier for us by they themselves giving them names and in the end as adding bank. So, that is how they have made it easier for us, and that is how we know, and it helps us make use of the services, make that they give, and whatever they are doing, everybody gives their service in their own way. So each bank may differ slightly from the other bank. That depends on the customers which they would like to choose. No bank forces you to be their customer. So it's your choice, and you can make an understanding between which is better and which is not good. So that's how the banks help us. Now with the characteristics I would like to stop, students, and in the next class we will deal with the further details that are given in your text, and in brief we will discuss what are the kinds of businesses that happen in the bank. Now 11 jotted down characteristics here, read them, they are very simple, one is interconnected to the other as always. So read them and get ready for the next class. Thank you, students.